I am a psychic medium. That's what I do for work. Welcome to the Messages from Heaven television show. My name is Anne LoCicero, and I have been working in Connecticut as a psychic medium since 1994. My job, I often think about like what exactly is it with the mediumship? That's my job, and all I know is that there is an afterlife. I don't care what you call it. I call it heaven. There's no other better word for me. I can't think of a better word. I mean,
the funniest, I can't even, I'm sorry, it's just so funny that it's him. He would be like, he didn't believe in this kind of stuff at all. Like, he was just like,
really?
Adamant, yeah.
Oh no, he's flying through with
That's
flying.
He's got this
great. My goal is to present raw, uncut, and unedited live readings on camera for you. I'll be doing this by presenting and sharing with you messages from heaven. Let me inspire you with the reality of mediumship. Hello and welcome to episode number 5 of Messages from Heaven. I am so excited to continue to bring you this raw, unedited kind of mediumship within conversation, and today I got some cool conversation for you. So I took notes, but when I started taking notes, one of the things that happened to me today as a medium is I wound up reading who I was going to be taking notes about, which are my guests. So I have notes to validate today, which will make this a really fun show to see if some of the things I wrote down match what we're going to read. And my guest that's with me today, you know, I know that the readings are like the highlight of the show. I know that when I work and when you guys tune in, it's a lot of, okay, let's go, let's get to the reading, let's find out what's going to happen. And I like that, but I also like the build-up and the conversations. And today I'm looking forward to the conversations. So the guest that's going to be here today, I know, the first one that I know is Eric Bundy. And he is behind the cameras on every episode so far. And I want to tell you a little piece of that story once I introduce you to him. And he has brought with him 2 guests, 2 other people that I don't know. So here's the thing about this and kind of the topic and the line we're going to go with the questioning. I have Eric Bundy and I have 2 other friends of his who are also males. 3 men on the show to get read today. I can't wait to see what happens. So without further ado, hi.
Hi.
How are you?
Good.
So I remember the first time that I met you. It was so funny. I walked in the door of the studio and you're standing behind a camera and I'm like, who's that? Like, I don't know who this person is. He just literally showed up, was behind camera, ready to go. It was like you dropped. And now we've met my producer, Marion, you know her, and you know she's been on, for those of you, you've seen her on the show. Her and I are like, where did you come from? Did some archangel like guide your behind our way to be on this show? And I still don't. So we connected before you were here about how I was here about, we connected because you organized a Booster Club fundraiser, football. I came and did a fundraiser, right?
Yep.
And then I had told you about this and you showed up. And I remember you saying at one point in time to me, I've always liked this kind of stuff. Don't worry about me, I'm in. So do you remember all that?
I do.
Okay. So how'd you find me?
A good friend of mine, which is also a football mom, recommended you to me to do a fundraiser for the football team.
Okay.
So when she made that recommendation, I reached out to you, and in between when we agreed to do the fundraiser, I went on, Googled you, made sure everything is great. And
okay, good.
yes, and what I saw
That's
was...
what I want. I want people to look me up and be like, okay.
What I saw was so amazing, I reached back out to you because I do videos on the side. I said, you know what, I want to help you out and see if I can take what I like doing as a hobby and offer that up, because you're helping the football team, I want to help you back.
That's what I know of our connection, and then you show up here.
Yep. So I showed up with one thing in mind. I was going to go around with my cell phone and do some not so great video stuff. And then,
It is great. What
and
you've
then
done has
Mary
been
Ann is
awesome,
like,
yeah.
hey, we need a camera person. I'm like, I know what I'm doing.
It's
So,
kind of exciting.
Yeah.
It's exciting for me, and then I was like, Marion and I would talk about it, and I'd be like, well, what do you think? What do you think? And then your birthday's 11/11, and in our woo-woo world, we were like, ding ding, okay, he's in. That's it. We can't. You're never going anywhere. You're ours now. So, yes.
Yeah. My oldest son is 111 as well.
See, 111? Oh, wait.
Yeah.
So obviously numbers are a very important connection and important sign. So you brought 2 friends.
Yes.
You brought, okay, so I know I wrote it down here somewhere. You brought Sam.
Yep.
Hi.
How are you?
I don't know you, right?
I don't know
That's
you
what's
either.
important.
Yeah.
It's important just because first for me, it's a fresh reading. I don't have to work harder. I don't have to go above and beyond what we already know.
Right.
I mean, I know you, but I haven't read you. So, hi.
Hi. We just met a few minutes ago, and you asked my name, and that was it.
Yeah, and you're Ken.
Ken.
I had written down Ben with a question mark because I was like, it has to match something. It has to match somewhere. Now, a B is not a K, and yes, things rhyme, and I'm a little more skeptical of myself than that. But the fact that it's something I wrote down beforehand is fun for me because it kind of glitched in my head. I was like, oh, maybe it was that instead. So, Sam, what did you think when Eric's like, oh, do you want to be on this show? Like, how did you present that to him?
The first thing I asked him to do probably a couple months ago was to help me film. Because you have 3 cameras and there's one of me, and plus it's really interesting what happens here. So he agreed to it.
Ooh, it's interesting.
Well, it's beyond that.
cool,
Yeah, I'll be behind the camera and like, I need the tissue because of what's going on over here is pretty intense.
But did you tell him that?
Not all of it.
Oh, okay.
Right. not all. He did mention, and I said, that'd be great. I'd love to help out. But unfortunately, the last time you filmed, I was sick. So,
You know what? And that's not even it, though. But to be on this show, to be a guest, to be read, what was your first thought? Honest.
Didn't believe it.
Okay.
Didn't believe it.
Just didn't want to, mediumship,
Yeah, like
that kind of thing?
I have to see it.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm fair with that. What about you, Ken?
I really didn't know what I was getting myself into, but
Oh, that's
but Eric and Sam and I, we do a lot of fun and interesting things together over the years.
Usually when I ask him to do something, he doesn't know what he's
and we
getting
just
into.
kind of
It's kind of like the whole ride or die trio.
Yes.
pretty much, and
I get it.
so
I
it's
like
really
that.
nothing I wouldn't do with these guys. So I was like, sure, let's do it.
Oh my gosh, it's my people. It's like, jump in, let's go, jump in.
100%.
Okay, so I'm gonna say this. I have to prompt the show and start conversations not by just jumping in and reading, but one of the premises of this is to kind of just show how not just how the readings go, because we could cut and edit and throw readings out, but to have it an unedited process for me to be really sure when spirit connects, and then to be able to go, okay, I know we're talking about this, but I have to stop and go to this. And there is already information that had been given to me beforehand that makes me kind of want to jump in, but at the same time, when it comes to how you feel about being here, believing it or not, I don't care about that. It's almost as if there's a higher purpose or a bigger reason for you guys to be here, and it certainly doesn't have to do with Eric or me. It's almost like we're the facilitators to get you to this point, and I would think that your family has a great sense of humor to make sure that it's on television. Does that make sense? Like, okay, if we're going to slam it out there, let's put it out there 100%. Not only that, but there's a huge stigma to men versus women getting readings. Now, I've been doing this 30 years, and it's true. I maybe get 80% women, 20% men. What do you think? Does that fit for you?
That sounds pretty accurate. I would have thought it would be 90% women.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
I think women are more in touch with how they feel.
Oh.
Oh man, that's a good one.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, we're gonna stop right there on that.
I can't.
But you know what? Like, I don't want to ruin anything. That was absolutely perfect. Let's leave it at. But yeah.
I don't want to come
and
off chauvinistic, but it's like
No,
men, I think, want to hide what they're feeling, and they don't want to know because they
gets-
don't want to feel anything.
Right. I can tell you that a lot of the men that I've had come to me, because we are talking about mediumship and coming to see a medium, and that's where they feel women. I'm not saying in general. I'm just saying coming to see me. It is hard to get you to be emotional. It's not your nature. It's not how you're chemically and psychologically put together, and you often don't need it. So if I take what you just said and I go, you know what, you're right. And I look at how when people come to get a reading, I hear somebody's mom talking first. Thank you. When somebody comes, it's not about having to bring about an emotional response. And honestly, I could care less trying to validate myself. They want to be validated. So I have nothing to prove. I could get embarrassed on TV, but that's about it. I understand there's definitely a B connection. Somebody's talking about a brother. Okay, we're going to figure this out. I'm kind of excited now because they're starting to get a little more clear. But do you understand, like, I think that the stigma of that also could be turned around if somebody would recognize that you don't need a medium. Sometimes you don't want to rock that boat. Sometimes you feel better knowing that they're resting in peace. Sometimes you like to get your signs, keep them inside. Like you could have seen 3 hawks today related to something. You'll take that to your grave and not share it with anybody. I saw 3 hawks. They were with me. I'm good. Do you know what I mean? Yep. Where the women were like, oh, I gotta share this with you. Or there are personalities, I shouldn't just generalize, but mostly women. We're like, I saw 3 hawks today. I call you on hawk 1, hawk 2, and hawk 3. We're in person. We're like doing something. Do you know what I mean? Where you'll just.
Completely.
Right. So, but the joy of being able to validate those facts with a medium, no matter who you are, or if you're a man or a woman, has the same effect. It can be affirming of just one thing: the afterlife is real. And that's what I love to like put out time and time again. Okay. I feel the name Brian. I've heard the name Michael. I've heard the first. I've heard the word brother. But it's somebody's mom talking to me. Does this make sense? Do you have a brother crossed?
Yes.
Okay. So these are things that I wrote down before I came in, not to prove anything to anyone. It may help skeptics here and there, or you in general, but it's more about me being able to really give you what I need to give you. Is he the first? So what is it with the first? I'm the first, you're the first brother. Does that make sense in some way?
So I am the youngest of 6.
Okay. You don't have to feed me too much information, but okay.
I'm not 100% sure what the first might mean.
Firstborn?
Nope.
First boy?
First boy.
He's the first boy.
Yep.
Okay, so he's coming through. I'm the first brother. His first message to me was he's calm and all is okay. He's calm and that all is okay. I love him for you right now. Where does, okay, so definitely the brother. I'm a little relieved would be the wrong word. It's an emotion where I feel like is your mom crossed also? Okay, so your mom and your brother, they're together. Your mom's been with me. I wrote down all day long, but she wasn't with me all day long, but she's singing the song. She's singing. I don't want her to sing right now. All night long, all night. I was listening to some of that person's music today. Music. She's telling me music is a sign for her. Do you understand? Okay, I'll go back to that because they're just standing with me. Did you know his mom?
I did not.
Okay. Is there also a mom? Do you also have a mom crossed?
No.
Okay. Do you?
I do.
Okay, so I'm just, and forgive me for bouncing. I'm not going to bounce. I definitely want to validate, but I do hear mom, another mom. And I think that's because flowers may have connected with your mom. So I'll go back to that. Is there a D like a Daniel somewhere?
I have a nephew who's Daniel.
Okay. Is this connected to because your brother would want to say hello or
my
Daniel's
mom.
living?
Correct.
Okay. It could even be your mom. Somebody's
Right.
trying to reference Daniel as like the favorite. I don't want to be weird. We definitely don't like heaven doesn't have faux pas, but we'll bring it up. And where would the L sound come in? Lily, Lillian, Lizzie, Lily, Linny.
Her maiden name was Longcore.
Her maiden name
know.
was an L.
Yep.
I'm not sure if that's it, but I'll write that down. If it's not, they may come back to it. I think that your mom crossed to me in a way which was an illness. So usually when people come through to me, all death is traumatic, okay? And so when I read you, know that I know all death is traumatic, but there are traumas to the body, there are illnesses to the body. So, and I have to admit, as I'm sitting here, I feel like you can feel everything that's going back and forth. Do you understand?
100%.
Is it like woo-woo?
Yeah.
I don't know how to, can you explain it? It looks like static to me. I don't know how to, it's like electricity. So maybe we're feeding off of him while we're reading. You care about him.
Both my friends, all my friends, really, yeah. They're extended family.
I get it. Okay. I just wanted you to know, because sometimes on this show I'll tell people hug each other, and I'm not going to do that to you, but you know, hug each other if you need to. Your mom was very special. I feel like she was sick. And I feel like when she died in such a peaceful way that it's almost as if had your brother crossed before her?
No.
No. Okay. Somebody else.
He
crossed-
was sick for a very long time.
He was sick for a very. Was she sick also?
No.
But was he sick before she
Yes.
crossed? Okay, thank you. Just because I feel as if she knows that he's there with her on purpose. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. Okay. Your brother refuses to talk to me about how he died. We're having a very big argument about this. Do you understand that energy connected to your brother? Did he have
I'm not
cancer?
sure. Yes.
Okay. I know he had cancer because half of me looked for the information psychically, which is cheating, even though it's psychic and it's cool and it's still accurate. And the other half of me was like, can you just validate for me that I feel like it's psychic? And he said yes. So it's cancer. And what he tells me is that, did he have cancer more than once?
Yes.
Okay, so is it possible that he was like almost on death's door and came back? Because he said, I did kind of die once before, Mom, but not really. So he just,
He was in
validation.
remission.
Okay,
He
and
was-
who's the B sound?
I think you'd mentioned Brian
Yeah,
before.
Brian.
I do have a brother, Brian.
Another brother.
Yes.
So he's saying hi to Brian, he'd be saying hi to Daniel, and then the L sound that you said that was Mom's last name. They're telling me it's not, it's something else. It's going to be another hello. But yes, Brian. I don't know, a uniform? Who wears the uniform? For school? That doesn't.
Me.
You?
Oh.
Yes, you wear a
My-
uniform for school?
No.
Oh.
My brother, who
Yep.
passed, he was
Wore
in
uniform.
services, yeah.
But something about school. So was he in a Coast Guard academy or was there some kind of school, military school? Was he in at the time? He says
that I can think of for
I was
school.
in uniform and then put school as a question mark. So I'll just, but in uniform.
Yes.
Aww. I'm very fond of the connection that he's trying to give you. He's, is he the Hawks sign for you? If you see a hawk, do you think of him? You can say no.
No.
No. Okay.
Yeah, no.
Is there some sort of a connection like that, though?
Yes.
Is it an eagle then?
No, it is hawk.
Oh, it
but
is a
It's
hawk.
my mother.
Your mom is the hawk sign.
Yeah.
Oh, well, your brother just claimed it. I mean, not to be, can it be both? All right. But hawks, did you see them today? I was talking
No.
about you seeing 3 of them.
Not today, no.
Okay. Because they've given me a couple of different signals that I understand. I understand. I'm bringing through somebody else's friend. Okay. Interesting. I'll say it's almost like they shut a book really quick in front of you. So I think that your brother was the type of person who would come in, give you a lot of love, tell you what's up, go, boom, done. Do you understand this about his personality? He does show me a J. First son, is he a junior? Or is he a J name?
J name.
Thank you. So he just showed, I'm sorry, I don't know what the whole name was. What was his name? I'm asking.
Jake.
Jake. Hi, Jake. Like Jacob or Jake?
J-A-K-E.
Okay. He's too cool. Too cool for school. He's funky.
Yes.
He's just, I don't know. He's got, he probably would have liked to dance on stage before we started. He would have, he's just funky. He had a very energetic personality. I feel like if he wasn't around for a holiday, he was missed. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. And I'm talking about before he crossed. Him having cancer, he talks about it being twice. He talks about it almost killing him, so remission and then back again. And then your mom kind of swoops in and she makes me feel as if, I'll say that, she makes me feel as if she had cancer also.
No. Nope.
She talks about how she had cancer. Say no.
No.
No, okay. So,
She did not.
is there another female who had cancer?
No. Another male.
My mom.
Mom, okay, so another mom's squeezing in. They shut the door on you. All right, that's just too weird. It's hard because when I do a show like this, you also have to be careful not to have dead air, right? Just like you would on a radio. Because if I'm going to do this unedited and raw, I gotta throw that out. So your mom had cancer. She has to slide in really quick. Somebody's showing me the L connection. Is there an Elaine or an Ellen? If it's not L, like Bare Naked, Bear in the Woods, Fred Frank, Phil, things like that. So 2 things happened. I feel like your brother left, and I feel like he took mom with him, and they gave me what they gave me and paused. I feel like another friend jumped in and started talking. And then I felt a mom step in going, she had cancer. So too many people talking to me all at once. I'm going to say to you, I do feel like your mom is here. I do feel like your mom is giving you love. She also wants to support more readings. So she's the caring person where I feel like you get your motivation from her.
Sure.
I need another male friend crossed for you. Mm-hmm. Do you understand this?
Yep.
Okay. In addition to that, I have the letter L somewhere that I can't figure out yet. So it's a female to me, and if I'm hearing L, it's going to be like a Lynn or an Ellen. So it's L, Ellen, L, Lynn. I'm not sure. So we'll just leave that there for a
I
second.
mean, my mom's Ellen, but she's alive.
That's fine. That would at least connect me to where you are. If it's an Ellen, they can, I'm just, because you're kind of down. Cannot, Ben. And Ellen, and Mom, Ellen. Okay, so that makes me feel better. We'll put that there. I have another friend crossed over for you. Do they know this person?
I think Eric does.
Okay.
At least met it once.
Him.
Yes.
Okay. Deaf, not, psychic, not deaf, I heard you say him. Gotta be honest. He is he a traumatic crossing? Or was it a quick crossing?
Yes.
Thank you. Did they try to resuscitate him? Are Are they trying to help him and it's just not working?
I
You don't know?
I don't know.
Okay. His message comes through that he's by the water. So there's so much water to this dude, I can't handle it. I don't know if I'm in Florida, if I'm in the Navy, I don't know if I'm in the ocean, fishing. He puts me at the water and it feels very good. I think that, one of his signs would be by the water. I think his family probably recognizes him. I wouldn't be surprised if they put, like ashes in the water or something along those lines. I don't think his name was Waters, but do you know what I mean? Like he's making it like it's that important to me. He said I already spoke of him, which means something I've said already connected to him. Does that make
brother.
sense? Your brother, which one?
The one who passed.
The one. So they were both friends.
They were very good friends.
Oh, but he was your friend too,
Yeah.
and you knew him, or met him once.
Yeah.
Could be.
Your brother wants you to know that it gives him comfort. It gives him comfort, which is kind of cool because when you're in heaven, I think you're already comfortable, right? So added by you knowing he's not alone. Manchester?
Yep.
Were they from Manchester?
No.
No. Okay. Are you by the train tracks?
I am.
Are you on the train tracks?
No, not too close. Train tracks. No.
They're showing me trains. I have no connection to why it's trains, but they're showing me the bridge, the train bridge in Manchester, which
I'm not
only a few
sure.
people know about, I would think.
I'm not sure why. Yeah.
Then that's not it. But there is some connection to your other friend coming through who died very quickly, who tells me that they tried to help him, and he talks about, I feel like he talks about a train or train tracks. Makes no sense.
No.
Okay, we're gonna say that's a miss unless you figure it out. If you figure it out, let me know. If something more comes up, fine.
Right.
But I specifically see what looks like a train bridge. So not just a train, like not just the train or just the tracks. Do you know what I mean? Like you would see in a movie with like Polar Express would have like a
Right,
scene
right.
where you see a pig. And that's I mean it could be a model train at,
Yeah, bridge isn't coming.
That's fine. I don't mind. I just have to give you everything anyway.
Yep.
Okay. That doesn't make sense to you and your that
Really? No.
okay. Okay. But you understand the water?
Yes.
And is that because he was on the ocean?
He was in the Navy.
He was in the Navy. Thank you. He's so happy to share all this. Like he's wicked happy to be a part of this. I find it very interesting because I think that if you had called either his brother or his friend to come through, they would have been like, sure, I'm there, where you debated it. And so I would have to say, remember when I was saying I don't think it's between just, it's not me and him bringing you here. I think your brother brought you here. Are you tattooed?
No, but he was.
He was. Okay. Well, a lot of us are, so that one doesn't really count. But he does mention tattoos. So if somebody did get one, did you bring something of his?
I did not.
Okay. So he does show me tattoos, so I'm not sure exactly what he's talking about, but he makes me feel like it's important.
Could be a son.
Could be. It's just important. I'm sure he says hi to all of his family, but I think not just the 6 of you, but I think you guys have way too many like siblings and off kids and over kids and down kids even to try to say hi to everybody at once. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Okay, boom, they shut that down real quick on you. How do you feel? Did I mess with you? You'll have to think about it, right?
feel fine.
Okay,
Yep.
good. It was so important that your brother came through and that I wrote it down beforehand. And even though they stopped really quick like that, I'm going to tell you a couple other things. October. So dates are birth dates, death dates, or anniversaries. We don't have death dates. We have miracles. So October. Do you understand that as a date?
October. No.
Okay. That could be you then.
Could be of some importance that I just don't recall.
No, because I kind of demand a lot of my dead people when I'm doing a reading, especially on television. Could it be right here, right now? Like, I don't want some crazy stuff that you're not going to understand. You already got a bridge. We're not throwing you October. You know what I'm saying? But I do like how he said first. I do know, like how he said Brian. We've got Jake and hello to the Daniel. We'll leave that as that. Somebody said Michael to me about 3 different times.
That's my father.
Your father is Michael. Is your father crossed?
Yeah.
Okay, so I know for sure that I have Michael, and I know, and he wrote it down. You were even, you saw me write it, remember?
I did.
Are you okay?
Yeah.
I love your dad. I don't even know, like I'm totally infatuated with him right now. But he made me write Michael, and I just, he will not release that. Is October connected to your mom?
It's possible.
Okay. I don't like possible. That's like kind of pregnant.
I don't know exactly what her death date was, but it probably was October.
We don't. Okay, you don't know.
I don't remember the date, but it was
Is it
October.
okay if okay, but is it on record somewhere? Like you could find out?
Absolutely.
I bet you it's October 1st, only because of the way it's showing it to me.
Sounds pretty right.
And then she says, I've been all day with you, not with me. She's been with you. And she says flowers today. Do you understand that? Did you see
She was definitely like,
the flowers lady?
yeah, I helped her with all of her landscaping stuff.
Blue flowers. What's with the blue flowers then? Were they the lilacs?
Could be. I'm not sure.
Okay. She thinks that do you have a brother?
Yes.
Okay. Even if you have more, right now I just want to talk about you and your brother. She feels like the two of you really made her happy. Like you made her happy. Maybe you made sure she wasn't bored. Do you know what I mean?
I'm sure.
You always kept her on her toes really right up until she died, she says. So even then you gave her something to navigate or communicate or, I want to curse, or to deal with.
Sure.
You're constantly giving me things to deal with.
We as kids, we were always in trouble.
Okay, and she says, but until I died, you still kept entertaining me, the two of you. Do
Probably.
you understand
Probably.
that? And it's important to her. Where's the Chris sound or a C sound? CK?
I'm not sure.
I'll move from it. Blue flowers.
Not
Okay,
sure.
that's okay. It's an I love you. It's a quick I love you because I feel like his dad is stepping in. And your mom's not thrilled that Michael is pushing at her so hard through me to get through.
Sorry.
It's personality.
There we go.
Your dad doesn't care. He wants to, I'm going to say, close the show. Who drank? Did he drink? Say no if it's a no.
No.
Okay. I'm not going to say your mom did. Somebody's coming through as a big drinker. Is it your family?
Probably.
Which one? Was it somebody I spoke with?
I don't think so yet.
Okay, then no. I'm going to say no.
Okay.
Your dad is talking about having a drink, so we're just going to enjoy that. Whatever that is, we're going to enjoy it because it becomes a specialty. But I think your mom joined us in the drink. That's kind of how he paid her off. It's a joke.
That sounds about right.
It's a joke, but it's like, here, just have this, and I'm going to talk to her for a minute, and we'll be back. So he's good at what he does. He's good at business. He's good at people. He's good at analyze. You're good at this too. You understand this as well. He says this is empathetic. So I'm going to say that you and I bond right now on the fact that we can read people. So you're a good judge of character. I bet you guys hear him say, I told you so a lot. Does that make sense? He seems to, whether it's a good thing or a bad thing, he understands the person and he gets it right about that person.
Sure.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So you get it right. Well, you're friends with them. I know Eric, good judge of character, so we'll leave it at that. But your dad talks about being that kind of a people person.
He was known to be.
I want to say so many things that are wrong right now. It's not even funny.
it's okay.
Was it business? Like, did he have books?
Yeah,
he own a business?
No, but he had a whole library in our house.
That had to do with his business or his work?
Yes.
Yes, okay. Because I'm like, how many books do you have to have? I didn't know if he was running books or working the books or
Yeah.
they were books on his work.
Yes.
And were they also his works? I have no idea what this Jude does, but all I can tell you is he's so proud of himself.
Maybe a little bit.
He seems to just analyze
He-
a lot.
That would be correct.
I mean, I honestly, I feel like he runs a business like or works in retail, and yet at the same time, I want him to be like a psychologist of some kind. I'm totally lost on what he does. What did he do?
He was a lawyer.
Oh, okay.
So make whatever.
I'm going to say the lawyer part, going with the psychologist part.
Yeah.
If we all know any lawyers or have ever talked to one, it's usually a psych session. Okay, which is why we have so many books, and I feel like he's on the books and in the books and about the books, and he writes the books because he's literally into writing, helping to write things that would go in. Well, obviously, people reference cases all the time. Wow, that's really cool. Is that library still in place?
It was for a very long time after he passed.
Is there a Mary?
No.
Is mom still here?
She is.
Your mom is still here,
Yes.
right? And you're married.
Yes.
Is there a Mary? I need you to know you have a drop-in. I'm going to call her Mary. I'm going to move on from her real quick. Come right back to you. When Michael comes, okay, first of all, you have to know that when he came through, it was I have to. I am a very strong believer that they do not have to come through to us. Like I tell people all the time, if they're watching, when we're dead, we will never need to come through because we will never need anything. Do you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So for me to say that your dad came through because he had to, seems to be because it's an honest to God, I love you. Was he an I love you guy? Or at least once in a while?
Yeah.
A lot of them aren't. A lot of people don't, say that.
For the most part.
But he does. He feels like it's like, make sure he knows how much I love him. So it's an I love you, I'm proud of you. You must have kids because he's looking over kids. Does this make sense?
It does.
Are there 3 somewhere? Are there your 3 or are you one of 3?
No.
Oh, he says 3. Are there 3 grandkids to him?
Nothing in 3s.
Okay,
but,
interesting, because he gives me 3. So Mary and 3, something with that I might be off. But usually numbers mean how many there are. They're all closing in on me, which means that I know that my connection and our time on the TV is done. You have at least 2 kids?
Correct.
Okay. Are there pets in the house? Is she trying to consider a pet in the house?
There are pets in the house.
One of them, she's just trying to show me, I almost feel like she's trying to show me your environment. I skipped to a she. Do you hear my words?
I did, yes.
Okay. I think I'm bringing through a female. If it's not a mother-in-law, it may be a grandmother-in-law. To me, this is going to connect with the letter M in some way, and she's talking about 3 kids, and she's talking about a particular dog being around in your house. So we're going to have to follow up with you on that because I have no clue, and you may have to ask your wife what that might be. Because that was just out of nowhere, because it was a she energy talking to me, and I can't deny that. But it's interesting for me because your dad let it happen. where your dad cut your mom off, he lets her come through, which means it's got to be a respect issue. It's got to be family. Your dad loved business.
Yeah, that's correct.
He puts a lot of time into this.
Yes, he absolutely did.
He tells me that either I know you or he knows you. Either we know each other or I know him. So if you were to say his name, was he a popular attorney?
In New York, where we were.
Okay. So I don't know him, but he's trying to show me like I'm a popular guy, like I'm a bigwig. Does this make sense?
Can I say a little bit?
Yeah.
Okay, a little bit then.
A little bit. Okay, so it doesn't make sense. Was he on a billboard, or was he in a popular case, or was there something that happened that he was able to did he write a, like he's trying to say he did, he's like, I'm proud.
I mean, he was in a lot of journals. He was a founding partner of his firm.
Okay,
things
so
like
that's
that,
all.
So
Do you understand his point of, okay, I'm
could
going to tell
see- I
you
could
this.
see where
This
you're
guy
coming
is
from.
extremely difficult to talk to. Have I said that already?
I would agree with you a lot on that.
I'm not going to say that I like him or don't like him, but he's definitely not on my top 10 to effing bring in.
Yeah, I
Okay.
would,
He
nothing that I
didn't
wouldn't
drink,
say.
maybe he should have.
He did, and then he didn't.
Oh, so
yeah.
he just kept the personality after he stopped. I'm sorry.
probably.
I have to be truthful because he's like, it's all about me. It's all about me. Look, it's all about me. And I'm like, oh, I get this now. I understand. And he goes, and I'm going to finish the show. Remember when I said that? I was like, he's got to come in and end this and be the all of this. There's something about sports. So I think the two of you disagree. You have an opposing team. Are we like Red Sox, Yankees?
No.
Mets and Yankees? Okay.
No, definitely.
But he talks about sports, so he says there's
would-
something about that.
That's definitely true.
And then I do feel like he says I love you, but I find it really interesting that I don't want to talk bad about your dad. He doesn't want me to talk bad about him. But I'll be damned if I'm not going to tell the truth to you.
Okay.
And that's how it feels, like he's a pain in the...
Yeah, that's, yeah.
He loves mom.
Yeah, that's true.
That's a diehard 100%. And the family is important to him, but then he turns itself back on him again. So he's not apologizing, but he's showing his true personality. Does that make sense?
I could see where you would say that, yes.
Okay. Just know it was all I love you to begin with. And then when he was like, okay, we can wrap up, I got his whole true personality. I was like, oh yeah, you're fun. We're staying at his house, not your house. I'm like, no, Dad, that's all right. Going to dinner with Eric's parents instead. I don't know, it feels like that. And I apologize from like the Rebecca point of view.
Sure.
I feel bad that I had to say it that way. But is it validating to give you his true personality?
Yes, in some ways, yes.
Did he die very quickly?
Yes,
Okay. Was it his heart?
yes.
Okay. He shows me we could do nothing about my heart.
Yeah, that's true.
Was he sleeping?
No.
Oh, I'm sorry. He feels at rest or very restful. He shows me. Or at least in his happy place. Was he at work? I don't want to be funny.
No, he was not, no.
Okay. I don't know. Was he doing something exciting when? This is such a horrible thing.
They had just come back from dinner, so that's probably a fun thing.
Yeah. But they were home.
Yes.
Would it be his mom that would be with him? Did you know her?
Oh, yes, his mom, yeah, for sure.
Okay,
Yes,
because he
absolutely.
does reference, like he says, I'm in good hands. And he kind of
Yeah,
goes over to
absolutely.
who he's with.
Sure. Yep.
All right, I got to tell you, they're shutting me down. but they're not shutting me off. So if something else comes up, I'm going to let you know. But do you have a question? Or do you have any comments or feedback? Gentlemen? Have you been sitting here, Sam? So is there anything that you have? I mean, I know what it's like to be read, to be one of the first ones read, and then to kind of have to sit back and go, oh, what just happened to me? And you half pay attention, half don't. And I throw a lot out all at once. And we were talking about, being skeptic, and then I boop at you. And then it stops, and Rebecca's back again.
So what would you tell a teenager that says, I don't believe in that there's anything that happens after you die? That my son believes when you die, you turn to dust, and then that's it. Mm-hmm. So what would you tell somebody?
Honestly, it's okay for them to have that, and it's not taking anything away from them being able to be spiritual in some way here. I say this, wait till they have an experience. Wait till somebody crosses over and pops up in their dream and they have to debate if it was a memory or not. Wait until they get a sign or a message or something woo-woo happens where they're like, I can't deny that that was real. And then their perception will change through their own experiences. So you can show them stuff and do stuff and this. You could throw me at him. You could throw 10 mediums at him. But until that one medium says that one code word that he put into place, or that one time something's recorded and he hears a voice that he doesn't know what to do with, then that usually will bring somebody to their next step.
Sure.
I say a lot of times when I'm working, if I'm a conduit to be, for like you guys to believe 1% more in the afterlife, job done. It doesn't have to be like a belief or a change in your perception in totality. You can take this experience, you didn't believe, if you believe 1% more than you did before you came.
I would say yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Job done. I'm happy with that. You can go have 99 more, situations and, but there's always that little bit, and it doesn't come with a lot of emotion. So, feedback on another show, we might need you. Right?
Sure.
Does that make sense though? Does
Absolutely,
that
yeah.
make sense? Good. I'm glad I could answer that. Because a lot of people get on that. I have never not seen or heard spirit, so I can't even imagine the thought of like a Darwinism type of mindset where we just go back to dinosaurs. And I think our body does, but I think that electricity lives on. So it's
Well, that's
it's
exactly
hard.
what I told him.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
said the universe is made of electricity. The bodies run on electricity. When you die, you just become part of that electricity again.
See, I like you.
But I find it very bleak for a teenager to think you just turn to dust. I like to think that there's something else after.
Well, I would say right now, if your teenager's like that or anyone who's like that, that's their path right now.
Sure.
And you and I both know for 100%, little bumps are going to come up in that road where they're going to be like, what just happened? What just
Yeah.
happened? And they just have to do it on their own time. So he must be learning something more concrete right now to keep his focus here on what's happening where he doesn't need that esoteric connection
Right.
yet. But I'm sure you got it. I'm sure he'll eventually see it and see that it's there. I mean, it doesn't leave you.
Right.
It's just that we don't always connect to it.
Yep.
What about you guys? Do you have any questions? Comment?
Don't.
I mean, I kind of came into this with not skeptical, but kind of like, all right, let's see where this goes. So I'm pretty impressed on some of the things that you touched on. So,
Cool.
So,
That's awesome.
Yeah, absolutely.
And what about you?
Still a little skeptical.
Okay.
You did get some things right, though, so it's hard to deny that.
Does it feel? Do you feel it, even if you can't put it into words? Was there any like a physical feeling that you had, or that you connected with, or even if you can't put it into words? Because when I read, it is a physical connection. They are literally coming through from heaven. They're hugging me from the inside out with this like heaven juice. I don't even know what to do with it. It's better than drugs and alcohol and all kinds of other fancy things that, you know. Did you have that?
I mean, when you touched on the things that definitely resonated with me, yeah, it really.
You felt it.
I definitely felt it. You know,
Even if you can't put it into words of what you felt, you
yeah,
felt
no,
it.
it definitely just resonated and rang a bell with me.
That's what happens. I like that part. I think that's really just like our loved ones hugging us. So, all right, we're going to let this show come to an end. I love you. I'm so thankful for you.
Thank you for having me.
Thank you for bringing your friends.
Thanks for having
Thank
me.
This was so fun.
Yes.
Yeah, it was.
Thank you.
I'm not. I was a little nervous. A little
I think we-
nervous.
You weren't the only one.
I'm not anymore.
I think we
Now
all
we're
are.
friends, so it's good. All right. Well, thank you very much. This is episode number 5, and tune in every Wednesday night at 7:30 for Messages from Heaven. Thank you.